All right, let's see. Does that work already? Okay, let's have a look. Let's see. Here we go. And I guess we go. Cool. All right. So today I just came across this tweet by Sascha Greif, and basically what he implemented in SiteBuyer.io is this web ring thing here. So basically a web ring is a collection of other websites and blogs and things with good content. And today I just thought, well, I would like to have the same thing on my site too, because I think this looks very beautiful here. So let's move on and let's see how we could do this. So the catch here is that I would like to get all this data in from Feedly. So Feedly is my RSS reader of choice. And with this, I would like to get this feed out here and then render it immediately or automatically on my site. So what you see here is my site. It's built with 11ty, and I would like to have a little ring thing here, or maybe an icon later. And then we could see how we would get that in there. Cool. So let's just give it a try. So I'm going now to VS Code and let's see what's going on here. So what you see here is a lot of stuff that I was working on. So let's clean that up for a moment. And here we go. So what you can do, or what I usually do, is I have a dev script. You see here that this does a lot of things. It's currently downloading some images to, no, I cleared some caches recently. So the way it works is that I have a few scripts running before actually eleventy kicks in. So you see that there's a scripts directory, and this generates some icon sprites. It does something that is called script. So if you're not familiar with this, when you, for example, have a look at these images, they have a little SVG below them, which has a blur on it, so that there's a little bit of preview loading effect going. So when you, for example, look here, so this is done inline SVGs below or behind the actual images. So, and I would possibly do the same thing here. So what I would like to do is I would like to have a new script that fetches the data from Feedly and then brings in back in JSON somehow to be read by eleventy later on. So let's see how we could do this. So let's say we call it fetch Feedly data or something. So let's rename this script here, fetch Feedly. Oh no, I have write already. So write Feedly data. So this is now without a file extension, so we have to give it a little bit like a shebang here. So when we now do this, we probably could do already, give it not plain text, but JavaScript. All right, and let's do just this and say hello, look. So what we now can do is we can go to node scripts and then probably write, what was it, Feedly data. Cool. So with this now, I would have to figure out how I actually get my feeds. Let's clean that up for a second. My feeds out of Feedly. So, and I didn't prepare anything here, so let's just see how this could work. So Feedly API. I assume that somehow I can get all my feeds out there. So we look here at the Cloud API. What do we have here? First of all, we want to, hopefully that is not a very short thing here when I discover that I don't get my feeds out there. So let's have a look. So OPML, this is a RSS reader format. So let's see, exports user subscription as an OPM file. So this looks good. So let's figure out how we could get this data, from Feedly. So we probably need a token here. So let's have a look. How do I generate a developer access token? Start here. Okay. Then that sounds good. Sign in with Feedly. Okay. Let's see where I find my password here. Let's have a look. Here we go. Oops. Okay, let's get rid of that again. So let's have a look. Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Your user ID is okay. I'm not sure if I need that. An email was sent to you. All right, so let's have a look. I'm doing that on my second screen because my mailbox is a little bit messy right now. So let's have a look. Feedly developers, your Feedly developer token. To retrieve your token, follow this link. Okay, I'm clicking this link now. Let's hope that it's not showing me. Let's not open that link on the screen. So let's see. I'm just having it still on my second screen here. Let's get rid of this one. Go here. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Here we have my token. Okay, what do we do with this? Okay, I'm going back to VS Code and I'm moving VS Code off for a second. So we still have some stuff here, and I will be back in a moment. So I will add it to my tokens. So let's say Feedly token. Oops. Now let's get rid of this again. Cool. So in theory, my Feedly token is now in my .env file, which means that it should be readable. It should be readable by when my build script runs in. So let's have a look how we could do this. So when you write a node script, what you want to do first is you want to get and read the environment file. So let's do it like this. And with this now, this would automatically read .env, which is also here, which I'm not going to open right now because it would show all my tokens. So what we could do now is we could say, we could grab the token, and I think it was Feedly token, and then we grab it from process env. So let's see how that goes. And with this now, we could potentially, let me just quickly double check if I named it like this. So what we could do potentially, yeah, I named it like this. Cool. So with this, what we could do is we could make a request to the Feedly API. So let's have a look how this could be. So when we go here, we could go back to authentication, I guess. So let's find out how this works. Authenticating using obtaining a token. But where's the Feedly API overview? Where's the URL? Enable write and access from the all data sent and received is JSON. Okay, I guess that is the URL of the API. So let's grab this one. I'm gonna go const Feedly API. Let's add then that one in here. And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring in an HTTP client in Node. So I'm gonna go with got, which I know we have available already. So let's do require got. And with got, we can already do something like kind of function first to kick everything off. So and I'm gonna go with an async function here. And with this, let's do fetch data. And with this, we can now do fetch data below here, and we can run it. Cool. So with this, we could now potentially do got, and this returns promise, and we could do const, let's say, body here, and then we grab the Feedly API URL. This needs an HTTPS. Let's do it like this. And Feedly API, and then let's find out what the API endpoint is actually. Let's see. So we go to OPML and we go for get v3 OPML. Is that it? So let's grab this one and let's do console log body to see if we get it back. We have to authorize first. So let's see again, authentication. And does that have to be in a header or something? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Is that all? Rx is that the code? Okay, let's see. Usually this is in a header or something so that you pass a header, but doesn't look like this is it. So it is in a header. So when you want to use got, so just a little bit here. So let's let me show you got here. So got is an npm package by Zentrosaurus. I'm using it quite often, so you can go here and I'm pretty certain how I have to use this. So it accepts the second parameter. So we can do headers, and then we could do authorization, and then we go with bearer, and then we could use our Feedly token here. Feedly token. And yeah, let's see. Let's see if that does anything already. So let's go here, and we're gonna do the same thing here. Well, that was too easy. Oh my God. Well, this is definitely. Well, that is definitely. These are my subscriptions. Okay, that is cool. All right, so let me just have a look. Okay. So these are already the subscriptions. So what we're dealing with now is that we're dealing with XML. So probably what I want to do is I want to use an XML parser or something. And I want to have it from NPM. So let's have a look. Fast XML parser. Okay, not too bad. Okay. Well, that is quite something here. Oh my God. But 370,000 downloads. So let's give it a try. So let's install that one. And how do we use that? XML to JSON. So this looks good already. All right. So we grab the parser. Okay. Let's have a look here. Here we go. Let's bring in the parser. Const. Yeah. And now we do. Is that XML data to JSON? Okay. So let's do const subscriptions equals, what is it? Parser parse. Okay, let's give that a try. Parser parse, and then body, and then we could do console log. Let's see, subscriptions. Here we go. Okay, let's run that one again. Oops, not this one. Oh. Here we go. Let's run this one again. Headers title Stefan subscription in the Feedly cloud. Okay, so let's have a look at the body here, because this is not really what I'm interested in. Let's look at the body. Oh, it's OPML body. OPML body. Okay, let's give that another try. I wonder what this outline is. So let's have a look. And an RSS term? I don't know. Outline. Well, it looks like our parsing is not really working here. So let's have another look before we parse the body. So when we have a look here, so what we see here is the XML, and it has body, and then okay, so outline are the feeds that I have subscribed. So how can we get these with the parser? So let's have a look. So options. Oh, that's a bummer. That's what I'm interested in is title And well, title, XML URL, and HTML URL. This is what I'm interested in. Okay, so let's have a look. It's a bummer that's not doing that automatically. Okay, let's see. Parse node value. Maybe that is it. Parse attribute value. Let's see what word comes up with this. So we can go here, parse body. True. So let's have a look if that actually works. So we can do that again. Still all empty. Trim values, array mode. Parser validate. Okay. What do we do with this? Let's log out. So body is definitely XML. So let's have a look. So that looks actually good, but it's not grabbing these attributes. Okay, first of all, here are two things. So I'm subscribed. I have two nested things in Feedly. So when we have a look at Feedly, you see that I have these groups, I guess. So it's the contentful feed where I work, and it's the web dev feed, which includes a lot of feeds here. So let's have a look. Outline. So what I'm actually interested in, there should be a web dev part here somewhere. Okay, so I want to traverse. Is that a problem that this is nested outlines? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look what is parsed again when we just parse the body. With okay. Body outline. Yeah. So I think the problem is definitely that it's not parsing the attributes of this whole thing. So how does it work? Attribute node name. Parse node value, parse attribute value. I mean, I expected that to work with an XML parser very quickly. So require. What is this true flag here? Options. JSON to XML. No. Okay. What's this array mode? Let's see what that does. True. Gonna be probably outline of undefined. Did I change something there now? No, it didn't. Or is there maybe an OPML parser on npm? OPML parser npm. I love that. Okay, let's see. Parses and OP and flat. You can't. Yeah, man, that is 5 years old. Feed URL field. Each item is added to an array. Well, let's give that a shot instead. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Firing and oops. The end here. Yeah, I want to do this. We don't need to save because npm is doing that by default these days. Okay. And let's see how this could work. So we're going to grab this body here. So let's get rid of this parser. And also let's get rid of it in the package JSON. So this didn't work as a first try. But we have now the OPML parser. So let's have a look what happens with this one. So It's callback based. Okay. We can deal with that in a second. So let's say parsed podcasts. That's a typo in the documentation is already great. Okay, let's see. So body, and then we have error. And what is that? Feeds, I guess. And we want to go in there and let's have a look. Console log feeds. All right, so let's see where we get with this one. Oops. Fire that one up. Well, that looks great. Oh, nice. I love that. Cool. So with this, let's make it first of all promises based. So when you want to do something with promises in Node, there's a util promisify or something, which you can use. Exactly doing that now. Yeah. Cool. So let's grab util promisify, which is util. Let's grab that one. Let's bring it in. And then what is it? Util promisify. So let's grab it automatically here. And then we could say const parse feeds equal promisify parse OPMap. Cool. So with this, we could now do const feeds await, what was that? Parse feeds. And we use the body here. And now we could move the console log outside. And let's clean that up for a second. And what's the problem? Body. Oh, I think this is just, I turned on some TypeScript stuff in my VS Code. Let's see. It's sometimes smarter than, okay. Still works. So what we could know with this, so let's see what data we have. So the goal here is that I write this data to disk to make it then available in my eleventy site. But I think what was on the site bar side was actually quite nice. So what they did here is that they also showed the last entries of the page. But maybe we should do that later. Okay, so the first thing is to make that available in my eleventy site. Cool. So what we could do now is what I definitely need is I want to write that to disk. So let's grab write file, require S, and then we can do promises here, which is quite nice. And then we can go here and let's say write file. And I have a util already available to write it to eleventy somewhere. Let's have a look. This is what I'm looking for. That's not pretty. I should probably centralize that somewhere, but that is good for now. So let's grab join from the path directory to dealing with back and forward slashes here. So let's do join require path. Sweet. And with this, what we could now do is we could write that console write file in fs node fs write file. Let's have a look. Okay, we can go to the file system, write file, and data. Okay, so let's do 11 data dir. Okay, let's make that a string here first. Let's use the variable. There we go. And then what do we have here? Site data. Let's make that a file immediately here. So we go with data, and then we go with feeds JSON. 11t, let's say 11t feeds file or feeds data. Okay, so let's write this one here, and then we can JSON stringify, whoops, and we can do feeds here. Cool, so with this, and we have to await that. That is a promise right now. So let's bring in just a quick feeds written to disk. All right, let's run this. Cool. So what we should have now is inside of my eleventy directory, which is site, there's this underscore data directory, which is immediately picked up by eleventy. So when we go to my eleventy config here, there should be something like underscore data. Yep. So and the cool thing about eleventy is that you can, in this data directory, you can have JSON, you can have functions, you can have async stuff. It's pretty nice. So you see here that I'm pre-writing a few JSON files, like popular posts. These come automatically from Netlify Analytics, GitHub projects to fetch some stars and forks and all these kind of things. Then the script stuff, which is inline SVG data of the images that I have stored in Contentful. And here we have now, that looks cool. Let's make it pretty first and bring in some indentation so that maybe we can debug that a little bit easier later. So with this, we should now have data available here. Nice. So that looks pretty cool already. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going into my package JSON, and then let's have a look. I'm going to go, what are my scripts here? All right, setup, we want to do this here, and I want to duplicate that, and I want to say setup feeds, which is now write feedly, or was it write feedly data? Cool. So when I now go into, when I now kick off eleventy, so I can do npm run dev here, and there was some error. What was that? Status 126. Scripts write feedly data. Okay, let's see. Write. Did I write that right? Okay, let's copy this one. Let's go to package JSON. Write feedly data. Okay, let's see what's going on by npm run setup feeds. Here we go. Let's have a look here. Status 123. Permission denied. Okay. And then let's have a look at go to the scripts directory, and let's have a look here. Here we go. So what we're going to do here is we want to give it execution rights. Let's do it like this. Let's go back, and now we can do run dev. All right. Shit. I cleaned up my cache earlier today, so this now always takes a moment. That is very, very unfortunate. Okay, but what we could now do already is we could set up a new page. Let's do that in the middle. So we can go into site, and now I could create a new file in here, and let's call it ring nonjux. So, and let's grab all this stuff for configuration. So it should be here. We don't need to paginate actually. So in the permalink should be wrap ring, has narrow navigation. We don't need that right now. And yeah, let's deal with this all things later. So what we could now do potentially is that let's just grab the main element here, and let's dump out the data and see if we have this available. So what we can do now is we can do what was the data file called? The data file is called feeds. So what we can do in Nunchucks is we can use the dump. So when now my build process hopefully is done doing a lot of stuff, what is the error here? Can I find module? Okay, it's 2FR. I canceled in the middle, so we're probably puzzled now by caching here. 2FR. Let's have a look. Yeah, here's a one file missing because I canceled the process in the middle. So let's delete these two files. Oh, great. 2FR. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here we have the next one. Let's delete that one too. Here we go. And let's run the process again. Here we go. There's still images missing. How many images are missing still? So the way it works is that I limit the, so I have these SVGs in a Netlify cache directory, and usually it only takes a few seconds because there are not that many images that needs to be regenerated for the previews. But yeah, when you clear your cache, you have to do all of them again. And what I did now, I limit this whole thing that it only generates 50 images, because otherwise I hit the build time at Netlify, which is 15 minutes. Okay, so but my machine here is fairly quick, which is nice. So let's see where we're going with this. Okay. And that should now, we're still having an error here. 3I1, oh, that is unfortunate. 3I1. Okay, I'm only deleting these two, and if it's still failing afterwards, then I'm going to deal with this error. 3, where was the other one? 3I, what? Smaller I, 3, come on, 3, where was it? Okay, we're going to deal with that. Let's kick it off one more time and let's see what happens. Yeah, that's fine. It's still generating the pages. So when we now go to my site, which should be running on localhost 8080, we don't see yet the web ring page. So let's have a look at how the other sites or pages in the top nav are set up. So we have, for example, the blog collection, which we have here. And this is what we're going to do. Cool. So with this, I'm using eleventy navigation, which is an eleventy plugin. And this deals with collection handling and stuff. So when we do this now, we should have already a new, come on, nice. So with this, we have now the newsletter and we have the web ring. Okay, what do we do with this? It's not showing feeds. That is not great. So let's have a look at data. Feeds is there. It's underscore feeds. Okay. So let's run that one again. Go. On. Nice. So this is already the feeds data. So what we could do here is now we could iterate over this. Let's say, what's the iteration in Nginx? Let's have a look. It is, this is pretty much what I want to do. Okay. So let's bring this one in. It renders a list and we want to iterate over feeds and not the items here. And then we could use feed. What we want to do now is we want to, let's just dump out feed, what is it? Feeds title, what are the others? Feed URL, because I want to use this as a link, I guess. And the other one is then normal URL. Cool. So with this, we can clean this stuff up because we have the data already. Nice. Yeah, I love that. Okay, I think that's already pretty cool here. Okay, so this data is actually, so these are now the feeds that I have in Feedly, which I use as my primary RSS reader. I'm using it with a macOS tool, which is Feeder, but this is now actually really feeding my own website that is rendered with eleventy. So let's make that all link first. So we go like this. We close the anchor here, and then we can do feed URL in here. We could say add another link, which we subscribe to RSS. And then we move this one in here. Oops. Subscribe. So with this now, I potentially, if let's have a look at that works. Did I mix that up? So these are the other way around. So it's URL and feed URL. So let's look like this. So just doc, nice, and the Node.js RSS feed. Nice. I think that's nice. Super cool. So let me just make that a little bit prettier so that it's in a nice format. I have a CSS class for that. Let's have a look at what this one was. List grid. So let's make this an unordered list, and not list preview, but list grid. This, my web ring should already be nice. That's cool. So what I would like to go forward to have it a little bit, we can get rid of this one. I would like to have it like this, actually. So what we have to do with this is then to fetch every RSS feed and the last 3 items of that one, which, okay. So when we now go back to our write feedly data, what would we have to do is, let's have a look again at the data that we're dealing with. So we have here the feeds, and this was an array. Let's have a look. So that's an array. So what we could do is we could just enrich these objects with the latest articles. So what I'm going to do is let's create another function here, which we call function enrich feed with articles, maybe. And this accepts the feed, and it will also return a feed. So how would we do this? So first of all, what we would do is we would grab the feed URL from feed, and it would have to be an async function because we are now fetching the data from these feeds. So let's have a look here. So well, we can actually do the same thing. We could, first of all, we can fetch the data. This would be feed URL here, and feeds or RSS feeds are open, so we don't need to authorize here. And then we have to parse it later on. So let's just do for now, let's log out if that is working here. And don't log this one out, but just rather do console log wait. Enrich feed with articles. Then here we go, enrich feeds with articles, and we're gonna pass feeds and the first entry here. All right, so let's give that a spin and let's have a look. Error here, invalid URL, feed URL. So what is the feed URL again? Console. Doing a lot of console logging here, so I should probably spin up a debugger. Okay. Invalid URL. Oh, I have to. Okay, this is what we want to do. Okay. Console log here. All right, let's see how this goes. Console log. Okay, here we have an XML feed or an RSS feed from Node.js. Should we give the XML parser another try here? I'm not sure. Let's give it another try. Maybe we want to try another one. Is there an RSS parser? RSS parser. That looks good. HTML parser 2. A forgiving HTML XML RSS parser. Well, okay. HTML parser 2. The parser can handle streams and provide a callback. Yeah, no. A simple node to parse. Well, this looks good. The simple node module to parse from a URL. Well, that's nice. that is definitely what I'm going to go for here. Okay, let's install that one. Then I don't have to make the request myself. Okay, let's look here. Parser, require parser, and then we can have this one, and we can move that one actually in here already. So let's do, we can now extract the feed URL here already, feed URL, and then we can feed URL, we pass this one in, then we log all the entries, and for now we're not going to return anything. Cool. So let's give that, oops. Oh, I did not install it. Let's grab it again. RSS URL parser. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is installing. Okay. Let's see if that works. Do we have the dependency now? Yeah, we do. So theoretically, I could now run this. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's see. What do we see here? This is all the entries, I think. Okay, that's not gonna fly. Okay, so how do we do this? So this is data. Let's have a look. Look at it from here. Data, and let's get rid of this one. Okay. Oh, I'm only interested in one here. Okay. So maybe we can just log the first one. Well, that looks better. No. No, it does not look better. Okay. Okay. Console log item. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there. So let me clear my console, and then I copy this stuff over and I would bring it directly into VS Code to have a nicer look here. So how much stuff is that? Oops, no. Okay, so we have title. Is that a URL? Is that a blog post there? Let's have a look at Feedly, what we're looking at here. So we're going here and we're currently looking at the Node.js feed. Where are you? Node.js. Was that only shown? Here we go. And the last entry was, well, it is this one. Okay, so we have a title, and then I hope we have a URL in there. And we have a link. Is that it? So open that one. How do I open it? Like this. Blog release v14. Okay, so what we can do here is, okay, I don't want to get that out first. So because I want to enrich the feed that comes in. So let's say feed here, and we make this feed again. Feed. And with this now, what we can do is we're gonna, this is not data anymore. Let's call it articles. I want to only have the last 3 here. Okay. So what we can now do is we can say feed articles equals articles. Yeah. We should probably clean it up a little. So let's map that out here. And we have what we do want to have is we want to have, because I don't want to write all this other stuff to disk here now. So what we're interested in is link and title. And then let's return link and title. So to just clean up the data a little bit. And we need some parentheses here. Let's do it like this. And now, no semicolon. Now we could theoretically return the feed again. Return the feed again. Cool. Which now, when I now run this, what we could see already is, well, we see some articles and some URLs. Is that writing to disk now already? No, I don't think it is. So now we have a collection of feeds, and we know that for every feed that we could fetch the latest articles. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do promise.all. And then we grab the feeds and we map them. And then we have feed. And we return, enrich the feed with the articles. Okay, the thing with this now is that I have a lot of feeds in here, and if I would do it like this, so Node would iterate over these and would make a lot of parallel requests. This is a lot of stuff going on in parallel. So what we're going to do is instead, there's a nice little package that is called plimit that allows us to limit the processes or limit the actually functions that are executed to only be run with a maximum number of things. So when you do something like this, only 8 functions are running in parallel, or more or less pending state then, when you're dealing with promises. And this can be extremely handy to not kind of overload things and do too many things at once. So what we want to do is here, we want to do something like this. So let's bring in, where were we? Here. So what we can do is we can do it like this, and we say we wrap the function and limit to 8, and then we could do this. Okay. Let's log that out for a second to see what is going on. What is feed? Does it have a title? Okay, let's have a look. And this one. Okay, we have an array. Oh. Bad status code 404. Okay, we have one feed in here that is not. How do we find out? Oh, this is also not correct here. So it should be like this. So promise.all. And we want to await that. Let's bring in a try catch here to see what's going on. If there's an error. So try catch, and then we can move in all these kind of things into the try. Because we're dealing with async await, we don't have to add a promise catch handler or something. So let's move that one in. And console error. Here we go. So theoretically, this friend here should throw when one of these enriched feeds with articles fails. So how could that? Okay, let's just run it again. Let's see what happens. So cleaning up the console, let's go. There's one feed with a bad URL. How do I figure that one out now? Can we promise fine? So this returns a promise here and now. Can we wrap this in a try catch? Let's do it like this, return, wait. And if there's an error, what I want to do is I want to log the feed title and I want to log the error. And to see that we're actually in here because I'm, I'm entering console log madness already. So let's just add some pluses here or something. Okay, let's run this again. Wow, there are what? Okay, let's have a look at these feed URL. Are these really 404? Let's find out. So we can. Well, someone changed. Okay, then I can. Then let's clean up Feedly. So what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with the Microsoft Edge block, which is definitely A44 now. I'm sorry, friends, but that's it then. And then we have Google.com. Google developers is 442. Hoppa. Okay. Okay, let's Google developers. That is very interesting. Look at this follower count, and this is a 404. Do we see the URL here? No. Where is the feed URL? Is that in here somewhere? Okay, I want to keep this feed. So is there an RSS feed? Oh no, but I want actually just the web stuff. This is what I want. Is there an RSS feed? No feed? Well, like what? Where is the RSS feed for this? So there's Adam, and what is the other format of RSS? Yeah, it has to be in the head. So manifest, open search, description, social stuff, a token. Yeah. Well, looks like this feed died. That is too bad. Okay. And then we are only left with, let's look, should be only be Axel now, which is also 4-4ing. Okay. But I definitely want to keep Axel's blog because in case you don't know Axel, he tweets or he writes a lot of JavaScript stuff, and I highly recommend checking that one out. So feed, is that Axel's feed? Okay. Where's the XML version of this? This is what I'm looking for. Is that correct? Shouldn't that be XML? It is XML. Nice. Okay, I'm digging this. Okay, does that work now? So let's go to Feedly again. Let's drop Axel for a moment. So to agility, where is it? Let me make that a little bit bigger here. So this one, JavaScript and more, seems to be for forwarding right now. Okay, but let's bring that one in again. This is the feed that I'm interested in. Follow, web dev. Okay, and theoretically, we shouldn't have any errors here right now anymore. Nice. Is that now writing all the stuff to... Oh, I love that. Look at this. Cool. With this now, so what happened now is that I fetched the feeds from Feedly, and then let's go over the code for a second. So what happens here is that I fetched my subscribed feeds from Feedly. This comes in an OPM format. Then I'm parsing all the feeds, and then I'm iterating over these feeds. I did it right to disk, actually. Let's call these enriched feeds. So then I'm iterating over all the feeds, and I'm fetching all the RSS feeds to figure out the latest blog post there. So with this, what we could now do is we could write these two disks. So that should be, we have exactly the same. And when I now run this again, we could already be ready to bring this back into eleventy. So when we now go to feeds, this is still running fine. Yeah. So when I now go to my WebRing site, what we have in here, so we're iterating over this feeds file, which is included in the data directory. So my script was writing that beforehand. So what we could do now is we could create another list here. Let's do it like this. We could, but we want to go in here. And then we want to iterate over, oh man, that's so cool. So let's go over articles in feed articles, and then we close the for loop. And what was it? Let's just give it as a headline very quick. Fast articles. And then we're going to iterate over these with list items, and then do href. And what was it? It was link and title. So we can do article. This should be singular. All right, article title. Oops. Article title, and this should be article link. When we now run eleventy again, npm run dev, it is fetching all the data coming from Feedly. There's still this error that I have to clean up. Okay, let's see. And dun, dun, dun. When I now go here, theoretically, is it? Oh, I love that. Oh, that is so cool. So, oh, that is so nice. Is that limiting here? Oh, look at this. No, that is so cool. Okay, let's move these here back down, and let's style things a little bit. Let's give these, let's split the screen a little bit just because we're doing CSS now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give both a class of button. We're already there here. Well, that's not super great yet, but we're going to get there. So what I want to do here is, first of all, the page should have a title. So my files, I have some eleventy base config going and some base templating. So when I now go to another file here, we can see what the things are. So what we're looking for is title and description. And then we could do web ring. Is there an emoji for that? Nice. Let's say blogging rocks. And that should now appear here. It does not. What? It should be like that. Title, description. Let's have a look at the other pages. Ah, I'm missing something like this. Okay. What is that? Go away. Go away. How did I open that? So I want to include the page header. This automatically picks up the stuff. So with this now, okay, we should have a proper headline. And the description should be, what is it? Subheadline, not description. So description will be the meta description. But with this, we can now go Logging Rocks, sweet. So we should probably, so the title should probably be a headline. And we do it visit website here. Let's make that an RSS. And we do add an H2 here with the titles. I think that is so cool. I have some classes for headlines, so let's have a look here. So this could be, let's give this one just a little bit of base styling. Oh, that didn't do anything. Okay, is that all right like this? That looks fine. What was in the sidebar wrapping? Was there more information? No, I think we're pretty close. I don't think that this data is available in. Oh, that is so cool. So cool. Let's move the buttons up so that it's not that jumpy. I'm from a visual presentation. And then I have some helper classes available to just deal a little bit with spacing. So I'm reinventing Tailwind right now in my site, but it's all right. So we do, let's see, margin. Okay, so it's margin bottom N. With this, it should already be, look, how does it look in big? Oh, that is so cool. So cool. It could need a little bit more styling, but this is probably basically. we should sort the data here. So currently it's in a random format. So let's sort the data. We could go now to the script that is reading and fetching the data. So let's see, where could we bring in sorting? I guess we could do it here. So this got all the data, and when we now do sort, and sort is, oh, I always have to look that up. Let's see if I do it right on the first try. Does it work with strings like this? -1, otherwise 1. Let's see what happens. So we can now spin that one up. And in best case, these are now sorted alphabetically. Let's have a look. Not there yet, not there yet, not there yet. Is it erroring out? No. That absolutely didn't do anything. Because we have to sort, was it title? if title, add another try. Let's fetch the data again. Oh, that is so cool. On. Well, there was some sorting. It's okay. It's sorting different. Okay, so it's sorting depending on the low, uppercase and lowercase. So let's make these just lowercase. Oops. With this, that is a great article header. Right. So let's have a look. On. It's the wrong way, but we're gonna get there. Let's flip these around. Not very happy with how this looks, but yeah, but overall that's very, very cool. So this just now should be flipped the other way around. No? Yeah. Did I do that here? Yeah, we could probably also include the dates here and stuff, but come on. Come on, eleventy. Oh, what's taking so long here? So this error is from when I started. I have to clean some things up here, but it looks like something is hanging. Script finished, popular posts finished, GitHub stats finished. What? Okay, something is definitely off here. Something. So the setup feed script takes a little bit longer than expected. But yeah, but it works. So what we've done now so far is that I'm fetching the feeds from Feedly here automatically with the API. And then I'm iterating over all the feeds that I get back. And then I'm fetching the RSS feeds of all these websites that I'm subscribed to on Feedly. And I'm rendering the latest blog post. So when we now, for example, go here, oh, that is so cool. So Contentful blog is in here, Chromium blog. Oh, I love that. I wonder how I should style this one here. That's interesting. It doesn't look very pretty right now. Yeah, I'm subscribed to my own feed just so that I can check that my RSS stuff is working. So how would I make that look a little bit nicer? That's a bummer that these are. How do we do that? Oh, I don't want to write too much custom CSS here. Yeah, we could. Is that? Did I do that with CSS Grid or what is that? So let's have a look. Look here. What is this list? So it says list grid. Yeah. So then we could say. Okay, what we could do is, so let's have a look at one here. So we could make one entry here. So what bugs me here is that these are not on the same line. So I think that, so what happens? So let's have a look. So we could make this also a flex container, display flex, and flex direction column. And then we could give this little thing here, like this button container, margin top auto. Margin top auto. That would be a little bit better, but it's still not. But if this one would not go over 2 lines, I think I could live with that. So let's see what happens if we just would make that shorter. But I think that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if I have a class for flex available. Oh, now we're entering my messy CSS. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So this one wants to have margin top auto though. So first steps first. And then, does it work? Do I have that CSS class? I don't. Okay, let's go to my margins. Margin top auto, margin top auto. So that should work. And then let's see if I have a helper class for just doing flex. Footer, highlight box. Oh, display. Ah, nice. I'm gonna take this one. Let's do this class. Deflex. And now I probably only need to do deflex column. And I'm adding a new class here. Yeah, I started writing the CSS very clean, and then it just got messy at some point. Flex direction column. So let's see. All right. So last thing for today is I'm gonna. You should never kind of truncate text, I know, but I'm gonna do it anyway now. So I'm gonna limit these links. Or how does it look like this? Yeah, I definitely have to limit these links. So let's see, overflow ellipsis, CSS. Truncate a string with ellipsis. Does that work? So let's grab this article here. And I'm gonna just apply these styles. Yeah, I should probably. Is it doing that? Okay, let's grab the other one. So I'm gonna grab this A. I'm applying these styles. We have to do display. It's an inline element. That's probably the problem here. So what do I have to do? A block. Here we go. Okay, let's grab these, and I'm gonna add these to. Do I have a shame CSS? Yeah. All right. Shameful ellipsis. So if you don't know the shame CSS principle, so this is a CSS file that you should clean up when at some point for WebRing. That you should clean up when you have a free moment, which basically is ever, I guess. But I'm going to just clean it up later. Right. So with this now, with a look, that is so cool. Oh, we broke something here. Oh, what is going on? Oh. Do we have to do with 100% or something? With auto? Are these? Okay, what is going on? So the ellipsis, which one is a big container here? Is it now really that class that is? No, it's not that class. Let's remove that again. Let's see if it's that class that is triggering my layout here. Looks like it is. Look, what is going on? Overflow hidden, no wrap, display block. Width 100%. How did ellipses work? Oh, that close. That close. I would like to white space, no wrap. Yeah, but I would like to Okay. I don't want to set a width here. How would I do that? Do I have to set a width to have overflow ellipses? So when I would do now, I would set it a width, and I guess then it would work fine, right? So let's say 100 pixel here. Okay, let's go back. That's fine, but I don't want to I don't want to have 100 pixels. I want to have the full width of the current container. Oh, CSS is hard. Does anybody have an idea? How would I do that? So I don't want to do this. Do I have to? Know that? Oh, that is annoying. That is annoying. So that's not gonna fly. This, what about this? Oh no, that's 100 pixels. Okay, time for Googling. Overflow, ellipsis, width 100%, maybe. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, maybe. Oh, that looks good. Maybe max width 100%. Maybe. Would that make a difference? No, it does not. What do we have here? We have here title content. In title content, what do we have here? We have title and title content. Do we have to have a position relative on the parent? That doesn't make sense, does it? Just hack it quickly in there. Class, style, position relative. Relative. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Okay, I have no idea how that works with overflow ellipses, to be honest. Card titles. So we probably. I have the feeling that something has to go here. Let's just try setting with 100% everywhere. I don't know. Let's refresh to get the latest CSS again. And any CSS wizards and experts here? I have no idea how I can make that a full thing and kind of do overflow ellipses. So the problem is that with nice. The problem is that so I want to use overflow ellipses on this entry here, but when I said no wrap, yeah, it's not wrapping anymore, which is clear. But I cannot define that this link element should not expand the normal width of the grid containers right now. So I have no idea how I would do this. So when I set, for example, a pixel value here, that works. Oh, it cannot be so hard. So what is happening here is with the same thing. So here we have a position relative. So this example here actually works, right? You see there that this is flexible. So when we go here, let's do width. Does that work? Let's go with 100% here again. Messing up with the grid. Okay, let's give it a width here, width 100%. I have no clue what is going on. Still getting out. Okay, my deadline for the day was in 9 minutes. So does anybody has an idea on how I could make overflow ellipses work in a grid? Oh, that is embarrassing here right now. Okay, a little bit more Googling. Display, no, I'm not going display table. That's not gonna happen. Is that a thing? No. Flexbox and truncated text. Can I move that? What is happening here? I have no idea. Overflow ellipsis 100%. I cannot be the first one that runs into this. Text overflow. Okay, maybe I'm going display table after all. So what happens if we give this now? Okay, I'm putting that one in here. Oh, that is shameful, I would say. Oh my God. Fixed it. Okay. Oh, that is so bad. Okay, but with the display table, we just lost the dots of the list, I think. So I would like to keep it. So let's have a look. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this one here and do like this. Format that one, then we can remove the file here. Sweet. So let's have a look how this behaves here. Well, I think this is pretty cool. All right, 85 minutes in. Let me just very, very quickly open up Firefox, and I'm gonna set the, and let me move my editor out for a second. I'm gonna set that up on Netlify. Here we go. So I'm just going to Netlify and I'm adding the Feedly URL token that I have to the environment variables on Netlify. So let's just go here and let's do new variable. You don't see that, but it's happening. And then go for that one. Save that one. Cool. So what I'm now going to do is I want to go quick and dirty Let's have a quick look at all the changes that I made. We're not looking at the package log. Let's have a look at the package JSON about the packages that I newly installed. So RSS URL parser, OPML parser, that looks good. So what let's go wild here, right? Margin display, shame CSS for some nice. Okay, last thing I have to move. I have to move this beauty out here. I cannot deal with this. Shame on you. All right, let's go to shame CSS. Shame on you, Stefan. Move that one in. Cool. So with this, I'm just going git. Come on, I would still want to deploy that at webring. Push that. Now we can. So I'm using a tool that I wrote. It's an Electron app, so which I call Netlify menu bar. So theoretically, this now should tell me that a new build started. So let's go to Netlify. GitHub. Nope, we don't want to do contentful stuff right now. Let's go to the build. Dun, 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 dun. So my build usually takes something around 40 and 50 seconds. So we should be there fairly quickly. Okay, come on, come on. Oh, I need some more logging messages that it actually works. Okay, we're building the file. Oh, that is so cool. Go, 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 go. All right, uploading. 2 more minutes to go. Come on. Post-processing. Yeah, I know that I have insecure URLs and come on. Push it up, Netlify. That's it. Come on. We're live? We're live. Nice. So we have the webring here. Oh no. Did my that's unfortunate. Shame on you, Stefan. Oops. Shame on you, Stefan. Okay, let's quickly fix that. All right, let's push that. So, okay, we can already do a recap. So what I did in the last 90 minutes is that I set up a quick Node.js script that basically fetched all the feeds that I'm subscribed to in Feedly, and then it iterated over all these feeds and fetched the RSS feeds. So the RSS files to get the latest articles. So, and then we're writing that to disk inside of Netlify's data directory, which is for me _data. And you see here that there's a feeds JSON, which then includes the title URL, the feed type and stuff, but also always the last three articles. So, and when we now, and then I rendered this thing out, and you see here that I added a quick web ring, which hopefully when the next build runs, Oh, it's already ready? Oh, it's still broken. CSS is still broken. Anyway, yeah, that was my first live stream. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'm enjoying that. So I guess I'll see you next time. Cool.